What's up, booktube? It's Gabby and it's time to gab about some books. Alright, so there is a place by me that is called The Book Thing, and it is absolutely amazing. You basically walk into this place and it is a book warehouse, if you will. Within this place you have books ranging from history books to you even have magazines in there, but you have children's books, you have fiction, you have romance. I mean, pretty much any type of book that you can think of, it's going to be in there at some point. Now, the one thing that's different about this place is that you literally walk in, you can bring in a box, a bag, a shopping cart, whatever you want, put whatever books you want in the bag, box, whatever you've brought in, and you just walk out. They are books that have been donated by the community. It is a non-profit organization. This, I don't remember what his name is, but he basically started this program, he basically started it because of teachers, as far as what I've read so far. He heard a lot of teachers saying how they couldn't afford to put books in their classrooms, and he wanted to provide that somehow. So he started collecting books, and then it just grew and grew and grew. So obviously now it's more than just teachers going into this place. Actually, it's how I started my classroom library. I now have had other books donated to me by friends and family. But anytime I do go there in Baltimore, since it is an hour and 15 minutes away, I don't get there as frequently, but when I do go there, I do always check out the children's book section, just so I can add some more books to my classroom library. But there's also this idea that you can walk in and get as many books as you want. So being in the book hoarder that I am, I mean, as you can see behind me, my bookcase is pretty much filled to the max. I don't even have any more space on there, so these books have been currently sitting in other places in my room. But I bought some books. There are some books that I'm going to go through first that I did not get from them. So I'll go through those quickly just because I'll get those out of the way. So these books I got for Christmas this year. First one that I got for Christmas was It Takes One by Kate Kessler, and this just basically follows Audrey Hart. She is returning home from after 7 years. Her best friend is murdered, so Audrey is the prime suspect of her best friend's murder case, and she is the only one that can potentially solve it. So it sounded like something right up my alley. And the other one that was actually a gift was Relentless by Julian Edelman. My best friend got this for me. I read the Rob Gronkowski book, and this is Julian Edelman's take on it. So, well, not take, it's a memoir. I don't even know why I said that. If you don't know me, I love the Patriots. I'm not a huge football fan, but when the Patriots are playing, I definitely watch. And Julian Edelman is just, he's so cute, and I want to learn more about him, obviously. So I got this one. It does look a little bit more in depth than Rob Gronkowski's book,
but I love Ron.
But I did really like Rob Gronkowski's book, so I'm pretty excited to read this one, and it'll probably be on my TBR list at some point, but I'm going to get back to you on that whole TBR mess anyway. The next few books that I am about to show you, I actually got with a gift card that I received for Barnes & Noble, so I actually got to pick these out on my own. The Roanoke Girls is finally on paperback. I have an obsession with paperback books.
Especially when this one's so, like, it's poppy, you know?
Okay, anyways, so I don't know too much about this one other than it takes place in Roanoke and it's a mystery, and that's all I want to know about it, because I feel like when I know too much about certain books, I have higher expectations for them, and I don't want to have too high expectations for this one because I have heard a lot of good things on it. So the next one that I got was You Do You by Sarah Knight. It says how to be who you are and use what you've got to get what you want. It is a no F's given guide. So it seems really interesting because it's basically saying, like, you can't always please everybody and you can't always do things the way that people want you to do it. So sometimes you just have to do it your way, and you have to do it like you want it to. So I think this should be a really interesting read for me. Last one that I got, actually, I missed one that I got as a gift, but we'll get to that in a second. So the next one I got, which is just like the prettiest cover ever, well, at least I think it is called The Little Book of Life Hacks: How to Make Your Life Happier, Healthier, and More Beautiful by Yumi Sakagawa. I don't know how to say her last name. Alright, but anyways, this whole entire book is filled with little depictions of how to do certain things. I mean, you have how to make your tiny apartment feel like a palace, how to remove wrinkles from clothing without ironing. So it just has a lot of really cute things, and I just really like all of the depictions throughout it. It was a cute little buy, impulse buy, for if you will. So I'm excited to kind of skim through this, because this is not one of those books where I feel like I need to read it from front to cover to back, or front to back, however you want to word that. So I'm going to flip through, skim through, and this will be one of those books that I keep out. So like it's out for me to read whenever I want to. I did get a book from my teacher BFF at school. She like showered me with all these like amazing things. I have to show you the pillow. She gave me this pillow. She said that she's been holding on to it since, I think she said like September or something. But it's Coffee, Books, and Rain. She said it's like very fitting, and hello, it is. It is very fitting of my personality. Well, not my personality, but of my bookwormness. So I got this. She also gave me this. It's a year of happy habits for teachers. Basically, it's a journaling thing. So I guess it's really not a book, but inside each day you write 3 things that were good or the best parts of the day, and then at the end of the school year you're supposed to like go flipping through it, because sometimes teachers just need to focus more on the positive aspects of their day. So this I'm going to be starting tomorrow when I go back to school. So I'm hoping that it'll, you know, get me in a more positive groove. I feel like I've become a negative Nancy with certain things. I really, really do love my job, but there are some days that are harder than others. So I feel like this is going to make those hard days really good, because even on the hardest days, you still have at least 3 good things that happened at work or at home or whatever. And that's also kind of my resolution, is to be more focused on the positivity, and I'm also going to try to like do more acts of random kindness and whatever. So these are 2 like they're not necessarily books, but the first one is Weekly Eats. It's a handy portable meal planner and shopping list. So it's just a cute little thing. You write like what you're going to cook and what you need to buy. And then the other thing that I got is Sidewalks, a Journal for Exploring Your City by Kate Pocrass, and it's basically like you literally just explore the city that you live in. So instead of having to go out and exploring the world, you can just explore your city, because let's all be serious, we as as humans, we probably haven't discovered or explored every aspect of our own city. And that's why when people come to like visit or they're tourists, you're just like, there's not like it's not that great, but it is, because you take advantage of where you live. So this will get me into kind of exploring. It's not going to be like exploring New York City, because I don't live in a city. I live right on the water, so my town is not as explorable, I guess you could say, as New York City. So I got this one, and that was it for like gifts. So the next thing that I have for you is basically the mother load of all hauls. It is 33 books or so to go through. Some of them I just picked up because of the author, and I knew that I did not have that book, and some of them I picked up because they just seemed really interesting. So without further ado, so the first one is Hate List by Jennifer Brown. I believe this is a young adult, and it is one of those stories that starts off at the beginning of the end of what has happened already. And from what I remember when I was picking this up, it's about this girl who helps her friend write a list of who she hates, and then those people are killed during a mass school shooting. And so now she is classified as an accomplice, but she didn't have anything to do with the shooting itself. So it sounds pretty interesting in that aspect. This will probably be one of those books that I can power through maybe, but it might be a difficult read, because the books that kind of relate to school shootings, those hit home to me just because I do work in a school, and the idea of that ever happening is just mind-blowing. So this one might be like a summer read, just so I'm not at school teaching. And so this one is by Jennifer Brown. I found this randomly too, and I thought this was another one. I thought it was The Hate You Give, which I've heard a lot of people talking about, and I really want to read that one. But I've also heard some people have read this one. Jodi Picoult, Change of Heart. So this one, from what I remember, is a woman loses somebody, I think either her daughter or her son, and then so it's kind of like redemption and justice and all of that. So it's a Jodi Picoult book, so I'm sure there will be some sort of a court case and heartbreak, and you're gonna cry and this and that, but it's But I picked it up. I picked this one up mostly because it's written by Jodi Picoult, and I have liked the books that I've read by her so far. It's Soulmate by, I can never say his name right, Deepak Chopra, I think. So this follows a man, he's a gifted doctor, his name is Raj, and he meets this woman named Molly, and he instantly feels a connection with her. However, he has already been promised to marry somebody else through his family, and now he must decide if he's going to go with the idea of family or if he wants to explore more of what a soulmate is and if that could potentially be Molly. Bedrest by Sarah Bilston, and this basically just follows a woman who is put on bed rest and all of the adventures that she has. She's very like active within herself and having to just sit down on the couch. She learns more about herself during that time than she has before. Charmed Thirds by Megan McCaffrey. This is the third installment in the series that I've been reading, and it follows Jessica Darlin. She is going into college, so it's going to be adventures in college. So the last one was her senior year of high school. It's basically in the form of a diary, if you will, so each chapter is a new date. And the last one was kind of boring, but the only reason I'm sticking with it is because I have read the first two and this one was free, so why not? It's for Michael's The Nosy Neighbor. It's following a woman named Lucy who's already engaged, but then she's kind of on the fence about marrying him when she sees that there's somebody next door that has been there all along. The next group of books that I have are The Woman's Murder Club, and I'm up to, I believe, the fourth one, so obviously I'm gonna have to get some, but because these books, I mean, books are expensive, so I'm going to read them. So I have The Ninth Judgment, The Sixth Target, and The Fifth Horseman. Pandora's Daughter by Iris Johansson, and I don't know anything about this one other than it is a thriller. I just like read a little bit of it. I skimmed briefly because I'm not going to remember it when I go to actually pick this up, but it's about a woman who has psychic abilities, and she's always had psychic abilities, and now somebody is trying to kill her, and that's about as far as I skimmed through. Secrets of the Grave by Tamia Hogue. This was one of those books that I picked up just because of the author, even though I haven't read the one book that I have by her. But like the one thing that like grabbed me, because I always open up just to like look at it, but it says she lay discarded like a life-size broken doll, made up, torn up, and cast aside, her brown eyes cloudy and lifeless. So this sounds like it could be interesting. We'll see. A lot of these books I just picked up because of the author, like I said before. By Karen Slaughter, called Fractured. I started reading one of her books over the summer and I didn't finish just because of everything that was going on our like little road trip. I wanted to read more of a cute and fluffy read, and I believe it was called Pretty Girls, and I haven't picked it up since, but the writing style is so great, which is why I picked this up, this Fractured one. I don't know anything about it, so if you know anything about it, let me know. Alex Cross by James Patterson. I am not up to this book in this series, but it's hardcover, and I figured it would be better to get this now. So it is the scariest one in the series, so we'll see about that. My James Patterson collection has been a little weak lately. The Gift by Cecilia Ahern. I picked this one up because of the author. Go figure. All about second chances, and it's probably going to go in my bookcase until next year because obviously it has to do with Christmas time. And I already read a lot of Christmas books. So that's all I have there. That is Harlan Coben, The Innocent, and Harlan Coben is kind of like James Patterson, where they are all kind of the same story premises, so you kind of already know what's going to happen at the end, but you just can't help but just keep reading all of his books. And so I can tell you that it's a crime scene of some sort, and there's going to be memory loss, and yeah. But I don't know if the book came like this. I'm going to guess it did. I don't know. It seems weird. Because it's ripped. I guess it was like that. It came like that. Yeah. We'll say it came like that. I was really excited that I found, because it's been on my want to buy list, is The Child by Fiona Barton. I could not tell you what it's about, but I wanted it. Oh, there's more stuff in it. The Ivy Bookshop in Baltimore. Huh, I'm gonna have to check this place out because this book was there and it was on sale, and I've never heard of this book place, but it's called the Ivy Bookshop and it's in Baltimore. Huh. Well, look at that. Sometimes you find the coolest things in a book that's used. This book is following a woman who is a journalist, and she is searching a case that happened however many years ago about a baby who was stolen from the maternity ward, and then she learns a huge secret that could potentially destroy lives. Probably not in like a life or death situation, but something along those lines. I feel like I've been reading a lot of older books, and I want to be able to give you guys more reviews on newer books, newer releases, so I'm going to try my very best to do that. Prior Bad Acts by Tamia Hoag. I don't know how to pronounce it, and I'm like flipping. Hey, I think this book may have come from that one little bookstore that I go to, because it has the prices written on there, like they write it on there. Karen Slaughter's Unseen, Indelible by Karen Slaughter, Those Girls by Chevy Stevens. I've heard a lot of praise about this book. Somebody asked me when I was talking about Chevy Stevens one day, they asked me if I had this one, and I said I didn't, and they said this was her best one. So I'm going to give this one a try. I read Always Watching by Chevy Stevens, and I didn't necessarily like it. I didn't hate it, but it was very slow-paced read. So I'm going to give this one a try. I have a few others by Chevy Stevens, but this one was highly recommended to me by, I don't remember who, but it was recommended. And maybe it's because I've read the cover or like the description, the synopsis of Always Watching, and I think I got my hopes up because it sounded really interesting and very intriguing, but it obviously wasn't. So, Hide and Seek by James Patterson. Again, this is probably just picked up because I like James Patterson. This one was actually put out on the shelf like literally as we were about to walk out the door, and I was like, ooh, let me grab that because it's James Patterson, but it's a murder trial, and that's always fun for James Patterson. The Probability of Miracles by Wendy Wonder. And this one, I went with my best friend Jessica, and she actually told me that she has this book. I don't know if I'll read this anytime soon because it does kind of focus on somebody who has been going through cancer treatments, and my Nana just passed away the week after Thanksgiving, so it's still fresh, and I don't necessarily want to read about cancer. I'm gonna get all like teary-eyed now, but I picked this up without realizing what it's about just because of the cover. It has a lot of pink on it, so it's really pretty, and it's supposed to be heartbreaking, which is why I probably won't read it for a while. But it looks like it could be young adult maybe, because it looks, I mean, the word, you know, you can tell when it's young adult, but who knows if it is or not. Diary by Chuck Palahniuk. I can never say his name correctly, but this one has been highly recommended to me by a few friends outside of like the book world. Okay, the next one that I have is The Kite Runner by Khalid Hosseini, and the only reason I picked this one up is just because it has come highly recommended. Friend Michael's Payback, the second in the Revenge of the Sisterhood series, so I didn't realize this was a series, so I will obviously have to get the first one before I read this one, so I'm not going to ruin it for myself. I got The Biohazard by Tim Curran. This is a post-apocalyptic world, and I really like those. I'm reading one right now called Zombie Apocalypse, so this one should be a very good read for me. Body Surfing by Anita Shrive. I don't really know too much about it, but I have a few of her other books. Phoebe Andrews' The Darkest Hour. I just really like her books. They're usually controversy in them. This one is luckily the first one of the Cutler series, so I can hopefully it really is like the first one. But like, I just really like her style of writing. This one actually came out in '93, so I was 4 years old when this came out, which is great. But I will be reading this one at some point. Fool Me Once by Fern Michaels. The Payback by Simon Kernick. This is basically just like about hunting people down and not always the best of ways. Dear Emily by Fern Michaels. Obviously I was on a Fern Michaels kick because they had them all lined up nicely together, so I just picked up all the Fern Michaels. Swapping Lives by Jane Green. This one sounded so cute. Finding somebody else to switch lives with you. So, I mean, swapping lives. So, and the cover's really cute. I don't know if you can like tell, but it's like sparkly and everything. So that was my like quick little book haul that I got from the book thing, and then also some small gifts that I got as Christmas gifts. If you live in the Baltimore area, or you can get to Baltimore very easily, I would highly recommend that you go to the book thing, just because it is so great to go in there and everybody's really friendly. I know I've gone in there once before and I was looking for a specific author, and it does kind of get confusing because they don't have them in any particular order. It's based all on volunteer services, so they're just putting them out, so it is difficult to find a specific book. So don't go in there thinking you're gonna find a specific author or a specific person. You just kind of have to browse. But like I went in there one time and this woman was looking for a specific author and I was looking for a specific author, so we kind of helped each other out, which is always a nice feeling, and then you can kind of discuss like what you're reading and what they might like. So that's about it.
So that's it for it?
That's it for today. I will be back with another video soon. Bye!